Maul Shadow Lord. I don't know why, but when I said it like that, it made me think of Melon Lord. Sorry, off topic. Maul Shadow Lord is very visually impressive. The art style, the animation, set pieces, character design, the fight scenes are all very well done. Clap, clap, clap. So I'll give them a round of applause. Maybe more than that. Let's give them a good paycheck. How about we do that? Story-wise and character-wise, it's very lacking. At least first two episodes. Now having seen 3 and 4 are better than 1 and 2. But it's still not entirely there yet. But watching the first two episodes, by the end of the first two episodes, I was like, okay, so we've got these 2 Jedi characters in here, and I still hardly know anything about them. I don't even know their names, and we don't even find out their names till partway through episode 3, and at the very end of episode 3. One of them, we find out their name because they tell it. Makes sense. Yay, now we know his name. Hello, Docky. And then we only find out Devon's name because Maul tells us her name. How in the world does Maul know Devon's name? How? I would really like an answer to that question because it doesn't make sense. Also, the fact that it took us 3 episodes to find out her name. The only reason you know her name in the first 2 episodes is if you have the subtitles on. But, in the first 2 episodes, when we meet them, I don't... their MO, I'm guessing, is that they're trying to hide. And trying to keep a low profile. Not get involved in anything. Though it seems like Devon, she still cares. She still really cares about it. And the Master, I'm guessing, still cares. But he's trying to be responsible and keep him and his apprentice alive. And so he's saying, hey, we can't get involved. And Devon wants to get involved. She wants to help people. Because that's what she's been trained for. One moment I would have liked to have had in the first 2 episodes, though, is when Devon meets Maul, or senses Maul. It doesn't seem like she senses Maul, more as realizes that this is a bad guy when she sees the lightsaber. She knows this is not a good person when she sees the lightsaber. I would have liked a little more hint of, she sensed him before he came down her hallway specifically. And I would have loved to see her sensing that there's this dark side user coming down the hallway, this overpowering presence of the dark side, and then a cutaway to her master sitting, meditating outside, and his head shooting up as he, senses what she's sensing, her fear and anxiety and all that. So that's something I would have liked to have happened. Maul. Okay, for one thing, I'm happy that Maul is actually the main character of the show that's named after him. I'm glad that Disney figured that out. Maul's MO is revenge. Again, that's just his thing. Maul's thing is revenge. Him getting revenge on all the people that betrayed him and all that stuff makes sense. It's interesting to see. It's interesting to see. I'm not rooting for him or rooting for any of the other guys, but it's kind of interesting to watch. It's told very well. The part that doesn't make sense, though, is how lazy he is about keeping his presence unknown, and that he thinks he's going to find an apprentice that'll let him take on Darth Sidious. They show Maul kind of trying to keep a low profile, but he's too lazy about it. I would have liked to see them, hide the bodies that Maul chops up with a lightsaber, because that's a very, anything that gets hit by a lightsaber, I feel like you need to get rid of that, because that's a very distinct wound. And it would have also been nice to see them, maybe even if they leave stuff, they get shot or whatever, they try and damage the memory banks so that people can't recover any footage. And so you could see them do that, them just shooting droids. And then later you see like, all the memory banks are damaged, but we've managed to recover this, and it's a partially corrupted file of Maul. And that's what they have to go on. Instead, and showing that like, okay, Maul's trying, but he can't cover every basis or account for every scenario. Also, there's a weird moment in the very first episode where it looks like one of the Mandalorians gets shot. And it's hard to tell because of the art style and the movement and everything, but it looks like he gets shot in the chest where his best scar is, and it looks like he dies. And the reason I say it looks like he dies is because he gets shot, falls over, and we don't see him later. They don't even have his body, which is a big problem. You wouldn't just leave a Mandalorian body behind at a crime scene. You wouldn't do that. But it'd be nice to see Maul make it more of an effort to be in hiding. Because if the Empire finds out where he is, they're immediately going to come looking for him. And that other part, I'm going to go back to the other part. Him thinking that he could find an apprentice that he could train to help him take on Sidious. I don't think Maul would be thinking that way. Yes, he wants revenge. Yes, he would love to get revenge on Darth Sidious. But I don't think that Maul would think that's ever possible. Because the last time we saw Maul and Darth Sidious go up against each other, Maul had Savage. And the two of them were killing Jedi and sending people on the run all over the place. They're having one-on-ones with Obi-Wan and council members and stuff. And you think you're going to find an apprentice being able to train them to take on Darth Sidious. You got absolutely wrecked last time you fought Darth Sidious, Maul. He wasn't even trying. Maybe he was trying a little, but he was having fun. So, I don't think you really had a chance, Maul. Like, there's no chance you're winning. And I don't think Maul would ever think he has a chance of beating Darth Sidious, especially after that. So that part's weird. Maul winning an apprentice, to kind of just make it his other thing. He wants revenge, and he wants an apprentice that he can corrupt and make them do stuff. That's the kind of things they've given him, which is really weird. I could see him wanting an apprentice so that he can have somebody to make the Empire chase, have them off doing stuff here or there to keep them away from Maul. Really quick, Lawson. He should be dead. Lawson should be dead. Especially after seeing episodes 3 and 4, it doesn't make sense why he's still alive. I don't know why, after watching episodes 3 and 4, my question of why did Maul leave him alive? Why did he just knock him out when they attacked the police station? Well, it's because in their brief interaction, Maul found that he was honorable and intelligent. The brief interaction being, I saw you through a camera and then I punched you in the face when you tried to shoot me. Yes, Maul has the Force. Yes, he can sense people's emotions and things like that. And yes, he could have deduced that, okay, he saw me. They apparently have a recording of me enough to look at their database and see that, hey, we're supposed to contact the Empire about this. Which, after not seeing the Empire show up after a day or so or whatever, he's like, okay, they didn't call the Empire, so I know this guy doesn't like the Empire. Yeah, he could probably deduce that. I know where he gets the honorable bit. You just punched him in the face, and if you're thinking maybe he gets the honorable bit from, oh, he's protecting a criminal leader dude that he has under his protection. You could also very easily chop that up to, did I say chopped? I did, weird. Chalked. That's what I was trying to say. You could chalk that up to he's just doing his job. So, and what if you were wrong, Maul? What if you knocked this guy out and were like, let's see what he does? Oh, he called the Empire. Oh, dang it. Now the Empire's here and I've got to deal with the entire Empire coming after me because they know where I am now. That's stupid. Lawson should be dead. He should be dead, and it doesn't make sense why he's alive, and so I don't really care about any of the scenes he's in. I don't care about his storyline, because he should be dead. The droid is cool. Maul's droid, the seeker drone droid thing, I don't know his name. It's cool. I think it's a cool droid design, really good sound design. I like it. And the fight between Maul and Devon, the training sequence, as I've seen some people call it, I've seen so many things about, like, oh, look, Devon's giving in to her anger here. She's losing control. She's giving up on the Jedi ways and things like that. Devon's anger momentarily gets the best of her while she's fighting a Sith that's literally trying to get her angry. Kenobi does that in episode 1. Luke does that in episode 6. They haven't given up on the Jedi teachings yet. They literally lose control of their emotions for a moment. That happens to people. And she loses control of her emotions for a sec, and then brings them back under control and runs away, because that's the smart choice. And the first conversation Maul has with her, he literally starts with I can show you a path to power. What is it? He's like, I can show you a path to power that the Jedi can't, or never could, or whatever. That's like one of the first, it's amongst the first 5 things he says to her. Maul doesn't know anything about this person other than that she's a Jedi. And he immediately jumps to I can show you a path to power. You have no idea if power is something that interests her. So that doesn't make sense. And I was thinking, I feel like there's quite a bit we're being told about who Devon is for Maul, and then there's what we're actually getting about who Devon is. Because we know from what we've seen and what Devon says, she still thinks about jumping in to help people. And as much as she's okay with wanting to offer her own help, she doesn't really want to accept help. She doesn't really want to beg. She notices things, she pays attention, she's smart. She says she still believes in wanting to fight for peace and justice. She understands truth and lies. She understands that Maul's lying to her and trying to trick her. Which means she also understands that he's going to be saying truth while lying to try and get her to do things. So she sees through the lies of the Sith, sorry. That was a dumb joke that I tried to do. Oh, well. And that's what we know about Devon from what we see. And from what we hear from Maul, it sounds like Devon wants power. She wants to be a Jedi, which we know that. She failed. She craves an unfulfilled destiny. I don't know where he got that. Okay. She isn't living up to her potential, and she's refusing the call of being a Jedi and fighting for peace and justice. Okay, Maul is a liar and a killer and a Sith, trained by Sidious. He's going to sprinkle in truth amongst the lies. But based on the things we know and are told, I don't know how Maul gets the unfulfilled destiny thing. And I really don't know why Devon would listen to Maul when she apparently understands what he's trying to do. She's heard all the stories. And I don't know why him saying she's refusing the call of a Jedi and the galaxy's turned on her and she's failed and she's living a lie and all that, when, based on the stories and everything she's heard, she knows he was actively trying to kill Jedi and do the same thing the Empire has done destroy the same thing the Empire destroyed. Maul just wasn't on the team when it happened. Like, she knows that. She doesn't know that the part about him not being on the team and everything, but she knows he was actively trying to destroy the same thing the Empire has destroyed. And then later, when she's talking with her master, she's saying we should get in and help in this situation with Maul. And he's like, nah, we should leave. Well, he's like, we should leave, and then she's like, we should help people. And he's like, hey, don't let your desire for vengeance overcloud things. And we see her take a breath. She's calmed down. She's like, it's not about that. It's about the parts that Maul said that were true. We can help people. We're choosing not to because it puts us in danger. And maybe this is a time where we actually need to step in. And we see her master talk to her. And it's not, he's still trying to tell her. While he's talking to her in that moment, you know her master has already agreed with her. He's talking to her to make sure she understands all of it in the situation. But you can tell he's already game to go along with it. So, I don't know. For me, at least, I don't see Devon falling down the path of the dark side. I don't see it. Apparently the rest of the internet does. So, yeah. There's my uncoherent thoughts about the Maul show. It's pretty good in some areas, not great in others. And it's not as amazing as everybody keeps saying it is. At least not to me. And two last things. Why were they playing parts of Battle of the Heroes during Maul's and Devon's fight? Really didn't fit. And two is, how in the world does Maul know her name? I think I said that earlier, but that's still bothering me. How does he know her name? Okay. Have a good day, everybody. I want to hear what all the other nerds out there think, because, well, it's Star Wars, and we like Star Wars, and we all want it to be good. That's the one thing all Star Wars fans have in common, is we want it to be good Star Wars. We just have differing opinions on what that means. Have a good day, everybody.